I do believe we are alive. So I'll say indeed and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me once again on another conscious evolution. Today's conscious evolution is going to touch on self. Today's conscious evolution is going to go about talking, trying to get ourselves to a economy of love, right? Like I know the things that we talk about in these streams should be seen as more of a suggestion, a way of seeing, an interpretation. And I feel, even though I don't have all of the faculties, I don't consider myself the smartest person in the world. I I think there are people much smarter than me that can solve these problems, later in life. I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say. An economy of love, right? Like at this moment, the way that things are set up right now is that things need to be profitable, right? Where if something is not profitable, it will not be done. It will not receive funding. And, by extension of that, it won't get built. The people that want to build something won't get to build it if there's no guaranteed profits. There's no guaranteed, oh yeah, we're going to do this thing for X amount of time and then we're going to make X amount of money. If we can figure out a way to ensure that love is true, right? Transition from you need to be profitable to love should be true, right? For your business, for your products that you're making, for the people that are going to consume them, for the spaces you build and the things that you want to happen in those spaces. Love should be true. And if love is true, then you'll get the funding, the resources you need in order to build. And I'm trying to imagine, like what a society like that would look like. What does a society look like, economy look like, where people have love as the main objective for our kids, especially for the kids coming into the future. Like I've been writing about this more so than ever, that we should be, or at least it doesn't make sense to me that we're not, should be oriented towards trying to ensure that the future we leave is a good one for those who follow us. Right? Just imagining myself, as a newborn being coming into a dystopian world. Right? That doesn't sound like a vibe. It just doesn't sound that much fun to me. So surely, if we can figure out a way to orient ourselves towards love instead of profit, that could be like a big shift. I feel like my mind is not performing at its optimal capacity, but maybe that's fine. Maybe I don't have to be profiting from my own words, right? Thinking about this space, right? This space essentially got built because love was the objective, right? There is no profit. In fact, there is expenses, more so than anything, building the space the way that we have. It's year 3. It's year 3, right? Basically. And if profit was my objective, right? If I had to come to myself as a board of directors and I had to be like, okay, Meltmore, I want to do this thing where I start streaming every day. And, I want you to invest time and effort and money into technology and internet and electricity. And I'm going to have to eat food so I can continue doing this thing, right? Would you be willing to support me in this decision? And the board of directors go, how much are we going to be profiting from it? And I go, like probably nothing. Probably. It's like, okay, so if it's nothing, for how long is it going to be nothing? Well, the first year is going to be at least absolutely nothing, right? That was like the first year's objective, to not accept any help, to not accept any money, right? To kind of like solidify this understanding in myself that this is not a profit-driven endeavor. If it was, it would fail because I wanted to. Not want this to fail. I want profit-driven motives to fail as a concept, as a state of being. And that we can build great things with love being our reward, ultimately. And you friends proved that to me. Thank you. So much love to you. It's nice having all of you. I see Shannon and Nana joining us already. It started to rain as soon as yoga ended. That sounds kind of nice. It's been a little bit dry again the last few days. As it technically is supposed to be. Usually it's not raining during the winter. This winter has been a little bit different. An economy of love, sign me up. Yeah, Dan, you're signed up, dude. You're here for it, bro. You're already here, already signed up. Look at you. Shell, lovings to you, friend. Thank you for joining us. Alex, blessings to you, friend. Maxine is here to enjoy. And Kristen. And Duck Dad now as well. So much lovings. Hello, beautiful humans. And Melty AI. Driving on my way to work. Got to make that Skrilla. Yeah, I mean, sure you're driving to work to make money, but would you be getting up from bed if there was no love to be had on the other side as well? If you didn't know that the work you're going to do would have the effect of love, at least in some capacity, to those you're going to do it for. All right? That is an understanding. Is it possible? You're like, oh yeah, that's fair and all, Melt, but love doesn't pay the bills. Why not? Why can't it pay the bills? Right? Like the thing for me is, and I'm aware of history, right? And I understand what happened in Russia. I understand. Unfortunately, I painfully understand. Like I'm very concerningly understanding. Hey Luke, sending you lovins. It's nice seeing your name, friend. Love you. I understand abolishing money can cause a lot of people to die, brutal deaths, you know, and that's less than ideal. But I would also like to pose that that whole system was set up before computers, the way we have them right now, before data science, the way we have it right now. And there is a way, at least conceptually. I don't think I'm intelligent enough to know what that way is, but there is a way to reward people with love, right? To calculate how much of the thing you're doing is contributing to the love of society. And depending on how much love of society you provide, you can be adequately rewarded for that. I had this whole vision yesterday, meditating on this problem, where I imagined this flower opening up. Like the more you love into the world, the more kindness you share with your fellow people, the more you contribute in service, you know, the more you try and actually make things better, you know, like upkeep, etc. You have this flower that's like a wallet that like opens up, you know, blooms. And then when you start spending this value, this love, I have Kitty coming and joining me. Hello, Shelby. Hello, Shelby Kaiki. There's a meow meow. There's a Shelby cat. Yeah. The more you spend this value, the flower closes up again, right? Surely the flower is still there, right? Still alive, like you are the flower, technically. But the more you show up in love, the more opportunity there is for you to do things. All right. That was like a visualized perspective of what I thought it could be like. You know, and I thought about it in like game mechanics. The fact that even when we play games, if you give people just unlimited resources in games, the value of the resources kind of loses its luster. Like you don't really appreciate what you have. Hey, Joe. I see Sam here as well. Did I miss anyone else? Again, love to you, Lukes. Hey, Zano's here too. Blessings, friends. So, if we're already playing some sort of game, technically here right now, and we just find ourselves in this state and time where we have the current financial system, the current capitalist system as it's set up right now, we can make a new game. Man, there's like I can see the dust in the air right now. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's wrecking me. Love me. Mm. So yeah, I imagine having flowers that open and close themselves depending on how much you love and how much you love other things, right? You might love food, or you might love entertainment, or you might love going on an adventure, traveling. And then as you love these things, you give that love that you gathered by loving others to these things. And then there's other people gain love by providing you that service. Right? I hope this is at least making some sense. It probably sounds like absolute insanity. I'm like dissociating from who I am and myself, and I'm taking on a new perspective, watching myself say all of these things. And that version of me goes, what are you talking about? Okay. Mel, Billy Talent's playing here on September 29th. I'm buying. I can't, bro. Like that's so nice. That's so nice, Duck Dad, but they won't allow me into your country, especially not these days. I think yesterday our country's president embraced, like giddily handshaked, and then embraced like shoulder to shoulder. Oh, look at my buddy, fucking Vladimir Putin. You know, our country is pro-Russia throughout all of this bullshit, and it is causing some tensions. There's like a whole BRICS thing where our country is trying to, along with the help of China, Russia, India, who else? I can't remember. But they're trying to basically, you know, dumpster the dollar, yo. Like that's what's happening right now. So your country, at least diplomatically, hates South Africa's guts right now. They will not let me into your country. I'll have to marry one of you or something, you know. And then even then, it's gonna take like months. I appreciate the sentiment though, right? Billy Talent is like very high up on my list of people I would like to see live. There's a part of me that wants to burst out in lyrics. In a crooked little town, never lost and never found. Fallen leaves, fallen leaves, fallen leaves to the ground. I mean, you know, live vicariously for me, Doug Dad. That's the best you can do right now. Oh man, it would be so fun. A group of us going to the show, Doug, right? Especially Billy Talent. Like that's one of my all-time favorite bands as well, you know. Can you please give me some space, little fly? I beg of you. There's like infinity space in every direction. And this is my space. Right? You have your space and I get to have mine. This fly. Oh, okay. I feel like I'm worked up. Like this whole stream topic, rather, Doug, that is about the current, you know, capitalist economy and the attempts that we've had to try and, you know, use different systems. Unfortunately, we've been brain damaged to believe that there's only two ways. You know, it's either communism or it's capitalism. No, it can be many different things. Like, in fact, it can be an infinite different things. But because of this duality nature, it causes us to try and fall into one camp or the other, you know, basically forcing us into the system that we're in right now. And now thinking about this whole the the government, you know, and how they try and keep people out of their country. Oh, they don't want money leaving their borders. It's just triggering me all over again. It'll be fun. Getting pretty misquatted outside anyway. Yeah, freaking misquatted. Please, sirs, rain. Drought bad. Yeah, drought bad. I can try getting him shipped as a homemade goat dog. That would be fun. Luke, love again to you, brother bear. I don't know what you were holy smokes about. Brazil. It's Brazil. Thank you, Luke. You're right. It is Brazil. Thank you for letting me know what the B was for again. And Brazil is pretty massive as well. We had a brutal thunder and lightning storm last night. The wind was so strong that it woke me up because I left the sliding door open. As I lay there, my eyes closed, listening, I thought to myself, it's like God's moving his furniture around up there. And as soon as I thought that, the biggest thunderbolt cracked across the sky and blew up a transformer. That must have been pretty trippy, Maxine. I hope that you still have electricity. I'm happy that you woke up and could close your sliding door. I feel waking up and having your apartment like covered in like an inch of water would probably not be ideal, you know. So I'm happy for your case scenario. Sam, slap a label to Adu Badi a la Garfield. I don't get that reference. I have so many marketable skills that I could trade for way more money than I make now. I'm for it. Let's get rid of money. I want to make love. Skrilla. I mean, I don't know if we can, right? I think we might be able to get rid of the government-controlled, bank money, but I think the internet economy is probably going to still remain. Fortunately, with the internet economy and cryptocurrencies, it's impossible for them to continually print more of it, you know, causing hyperinflation and basically just there's like a word coming into my mind. This is YouTuber that I really like, talking about how people came up with taxes, and he goes like, "Yeah, let's call it money raping." And it's like, no, you can't call it that. That's too rough. That won't fly, in later times. It's like, okay, let's call it taxes. Let's call it taxes. What are we gonna call ourselves? The money rapers. It's like, no, we can't call ourselves that, dude. Okay, fine. Let's do it. Let's do the IRS. So yeah, I don't know if money will completely go away. I just think we can make a new system of money because money is energy, right? But unfortunately, the way we have it set up right now, it is also given as a sense of purpose. And if money is supposed to be our purpose, when you make it something as soulless as just a number, it's going to enable soulless behavior, right? That's the way I try to think of it. And if you make something that kind of like deprives or strips humanity from the energy source, then it's going to cause the amount of bullshit we see right now, the exploitation, the oppression, right? Not only of women, but of all people. And it causes us, and like I believe that people that have the money system set up in the way that it is probably believe that it's a good thing because money allows people to know what they're supposed to do, right? If there's money and if you're supposed to be earning a living and trying to survive, you know what is expected of you. Make more money, right? That's your objective. But if we can transition that idea, right, that idea of money into one where instead of it being a number, it is a measure of love, right? Like a flower blooming, opening up with the amount of love that you share. As in the same way, if you give flowers water day after day and you make sure they get enough sunlight, they also open up in beauty, right? To attach that into the human psyche as you don't have to earn a living, you get to live, you get to have a place to live, you get food to eat, you have water to drink, energy so you can continue doing your things, and medicine so you can actually, continue living a healthy life. Your objective in that case, your goal, your purpose is to make more love, right? Doesn't have to be sex. Can be you walking an old lady over the street. Can be you sitting down with a person that looks like they're having a hard time and just reminding them that they're not alone, having a conversation with them. It can be an encouragement of a friend's creative project. It can be taking care of flowers, right? It can be taking care of other people's pets. It can be putting aloe vera on people's faces, right? And it doesn't have to be money based because in that case, you putting in the effort is going to garner love, right? Because that's the thing as well. Is this current money system that we have causes such a sense of depreciation of the human soul, right? Where, for instance, the thing that we're doing here right now, I believe it is very valuable, right? And I believe that there's a lot of love generated. But because of the money system we have attached to it, it can make me feel like I'm worthless because I'm not earning enough money to sustain myself, right? And to kind of like attach that fractal to, for instance, someone who makes it their whole thing to go from place to place, house to house, in a day, to just put aloe vera on people's faces, right? Like that's the thing they want to do. They want to moisturize people's faces. And then instead of being paid in money, right? Because how much can you expect to be paid for that? Maybe if you can like garner a large market or a high value market, people who have copious amounts of money, they can pay you a lot of money for that service. But realistically, putting aloe vera on someone's face is not exactly a high skill job, right? You're gonna put goo on your fingertips and then you're gonna put it on the face and then that's it, right? So how much is that worth? $5, $10 an hour, $20 an hour? Now this person is commuting, going from place to place, spending hours of their day to make $50 or whatever, right? And then that attaches to them in their minds. Oh, all of this effort that I did is only worth 50 of this arbitrary number, that I have been brain damaged into believing is something of value. Where in the case of, using it in a digitized way, where the amount of love you share is like a flower growing, you can look back at the end of your day and see how your flower of love expanded, grew, bloomed because of this effort you put into the world. And I feel, in my mind at least, that's a more beautiful way of seeing the value we contribute than just numbers, right? And it technically, on the back end, it's still going to be numbers, technically. But we are visual beings, and numbers go unto infinity. There is no value to be gained from something that doesn't end. At least when it comes to the financial system. Yeah. What do you friends think? You like that? Doesn't make sense? You think it could work? At least in the long term? We'd love to. Wow, that's crazy, Maxine. For the record, I'm not texting and driving. I'm at Home Depot. Please do stay safe. Sam saying, come from a time when men achieve power and wealth by standing on the backs of the poor, where prejudice and intolerance are commonplace and power is an end unto itself. And you're telling me that isn't how it is anymore? I'm guessing you're quoting, not necessarily saying that I'm saying that. Yeah, things need to change. Things need to change. And they are ultimately changing, right? We can feel it. It's happening right now. But there is this desperation. And I do seriously see it as like a desperation to try and control the masses when it's impossible. So it becomes a game of trying to steer us, right? You might not be able to control people, but you can give them things to do that would be aligned with behavior you want them to behave in. And we find ourselves in the internet age where distraction. Thank you. Full of the blessings. Man, I can still see the dust. Where is this shit coming from? So rude, yo. Particulates in my air. Thank you, nose and mucous membranes, for trying to keep me safe. Didn't bring my work boots. Guess we'll be cold. We'll be calling these work vans. People tend to give you the kind of behavior that they want. That's why when somebody unfollows, I unfollow too. On like Instagram, I get it. I get it. Like, unfortunately, again, that's numbers, right, Alex? Like, that's freaking, it's so much brain damage where people have this, like, basically job, they make it their job to go and follow people, and then that person follows them back, and then they follow them for a while, and then they unfollow them, and then we have like extra apps. Demetra Hemphill, hey friend, it's nice having you here too. I don't think I've seen your name before, but it's nice seeing you here right now. So yeah, attaching ourselves to numbers is only going to cause more suffering. Like it's not an indicative fractal of more love. I love this flower idea, Mel. I'm all in all of the flowers. Yeah, right. Like I'm so far into the flowers at this point. Like it's impossible for me to escape. Hey Joe Schmo, blessings to you. It's nice having you here too, friend. Work vans. Ha! Don't let the kids see you duck. You'll lose all of your street cred. You guys, today is my last day of bed rest. I can't wait to start moving around again. Blessings, Maxine. I'm happy to hear that. Like seeing the amount of joy in your text, I'm guessing you're feeling better as well, on top of the fact that you don't have to do bed rest anymore. Today I learned I have street cred, Sam. Totally have work vans. I find, says Zano, whenever I approach talking about a person's struggle, most people take it as a money struggle rather than a mental health struggle. It sucks because they think the two go hand in hand. And I think that is what causes this struggle. I actually agree, Zana. I feel our mental health can be negatively affected by the current financial system and the potential lack of money. But again, that's a symptom. It's a symptom of a symptom where the depression, at least in my mind, arises from a lack of purpose, a lack of feeling you have any purpose, a lack of feeling you have any power, any autonomy, any control over your life and over the way you're supposed to be living it. And that lack of control can come from this experience of feeling like you're just a part of a system, a small, inconsequential node of something so large that it's impossible for you to do anything about it. And that can be super fucking depressive. But again, the power, the true power, doesn't lie in how much money you have. It, at least in my mind, lies in how much love you can experience in this moment, right? Can you look at a tree and feel a sense of awe? Can you hear a quail and feel love towards him or her? Can you see the sun and see it as something beautiful? Can you listen to the bugs and hear it as a song, right? No amount of money can give me that love. I can spend all of the money in my life and never get that state of love. So really feel you actually, Sano. How can we help people when they struggle with money issues in the first place, right? When it's hard for them to continue being alive in the capacity of like just taking care of things, especially when it comes to like medicine and the privatized medical industry you friends have in America, where people are just left to die if they don't have money, right? It like causes this low hum anxiety, like deep stress of like, can I even, should I even, am I allowed to? No, no, I don't have money. And that can be pretty depressive as well. Ooh, Maxine, that's awesome. The rest will be so worth it. Love is true. Woo-hoo! Yeah, celebrating healing with you. Thank you as well, friends. Shannon, Chauvin, so beautifully celebrating our friend. I mean, it makes sense. Unfortunately, Africa has to hedge its bets. China is throwing so much cash into Africa to revitalize infrastructure. You're definitely going to be in a rocky spot for travel. Yeah, unfortunately, that is the way it's going to be. And again, I could feel pretty powerless in the face of all of these things. And it's disheartening to know that I'm not the only one that feels powerless in this. Freaking Vladimir Putin was just in our country, chilling, chilling, having the time of his life, eating our food, eating our taxpayers' money, getting driven around, getting booked into hotels. Meanwhile, the amount of atrocity, the amount of murder, innocence, right? Just imagine yourself. You're like a 20-something-year-old. Someone knocks on your fucking door, tells you, "Oh, wait, oh, I heard you were lifing out here. Now you war. We're gonna go war a little bit. Yeah. You're gonna go and kill other beings who look exactly like you. Two eyes at the front of their face, a mouth with which they speak your language, essentially, ears with which they can hear your screams, a nose with which you can smell the death of the battlefield." Hey, Nova. I'm sorry, bro. I'm tripping out here right now, dude. The amount of like fucking stupidity. That's the thing that's been irritating me. It's like I feel like it's stupid. I'm like, humanity, how are you so stupid, though? Like, I know I'm not very intelligent, you know. I think I'm smart enough. I'm smart enough, right? But I'm definitely not an Einstein, or a, you know, Stephen Hawking or whatever. Definitely not. And I'm okay with that. In fact, I kind of believe more of my value lies in my ability to be content and wisdom instead of intelligence, right? What is more important? I ask myself a lot. You know, and I wonder if I should, like, today, for instance, I imagine technology that could uncap my intelligence, right? What does uncapped intelligence look like? And what can I do if I had uncapped intelligence? And I was like, bruh, you're probably gonna suffer. You're probably gonna fucking have a hard time if you get uncapped intelligence. And yet still, that's probably what happened to us as a collective, right? Where too much intelligence does cause us suffering in some way. Because if you can see, and like, I don't know if Loizana is here right now, but I'm almost finished with We Free Men. I'm like on the last chapter right now. And there is this line from Tiffany where she's in this dream world. And she talks about, well, the queen tells her that all you can do is dream, right? Because everything is impermanent. Everything goes away, everything changes. So all you can do is dream, she says to her, almost like as a manipulation. And then she comes to this conclusion that no, all you can do is not dream. What we need to do is wake up. Wake the fuck up, people. Wake the fuck up, right? But, and she says this as well, that state of being awake, truly awake to the nature of reality, right? That level of intelligence is exhausting. It hurts even. Never mind just being exhausting. It's painful to be awake, to be awake to the nature of things, to see how things are going, and to feel all of it. So we go to sleep, right? We close our eyes. We'd rather not see it. And that, as a reaction to pain, is something that happens all across humanity. Limiting how smart we can be so that we feel less pain. Two of the members of Billy Talent went to my sister's school. I saw them play Battle of the Bands before they were too big. That is so sick, Zano. That's so freaking cool. Like I'm imagining Lane becoming like an absolute rock star, and us being able to say the same stuff one day, being like, yeah, we knew Lane when he was still a high schooler. You know, we were buying his albums on Bandcamp before he was signed with a major studio. Maybe he doesn't want to be signed by a major studio. Actually, now that I think about it, probably not. Lane being the punk rocker that he is. More like metal rocker that he is. Is Lane punk? Lane says no. Fine, Lane. Lane is more metal. Let's get this up. Drax. Coming correct today. Is she sending lovin's? Let me see. Melt, I will live stream for you. I can get there, through the digital realm. Sounds sick, dude. Zano, the only time I've ever seen them live was the first time they played Warped Tour. I was 16. Yes. And you're 38 now, right? That melts my brain, dude. Like you saw them play before I existed even. I wasn't even walking this earth. Oh, and you were well rocking out to freaking Billy Talent. Oh man. Yeah, it was cool watching them grow. They went to Mount Kernel, and my school, Meadowvale, was like down the street. It was around that time because they were just starting to make waves, and they went back to their high school as a guest appearance. It's so cool. Music. Like music is probably going to evolve over the next few years as well with AI shaking things up a little bit. It's going to be quite an experience to see what kind of music we can make. That sounds like a plan, Melt. Our serve is literally just to love as many and genuinely as possible. You know. You know what I'm trying to say, Maxine. Loving to you. Operation Smuggle Melt needs Joe's input. I feel he is the one to talk to. I mean, he does want to get himself a boat. Right. Apparently, like it's fair game if I can put feet on American soil. You know. So we had that with Fallout Boy and Thai Agent. I don't know if Thai Agent Thai Against is also a band, but Fallout Boy is also one of my favorites. Young Volcanoes is like playing in my head just thinking about them. What if I'm making no money, lol? We should be paid, oopsie, only because we exist. I don't like the idea of earning your living. I feel it's a sticky one, unfortunately, right? Because some people are only motivated by the idea that they'll get to earn something by doing something, right? And if enough people cease to be motivated because there's no system of money in place or no system of value exchange, energy exchange, then millions of people end up dying. Right. And that's like a little bit of a yikes. We don't want a million peoples to die. So how can we facilitate growth? I believe robots. I do believe robots. Robots and energy, right? That's where my mind goes. I am a futurist by nature, unfortunately. With enough robots and enough energy through solar and eventually thorium reactors, we have more than enough of everything to ensure everybody gets something, right? I heard this beautiful fractal on Reddit, on r/singularity, where he talked about redistributing companies' stocks to the whole of humanity. So if a company performs well, the whole planet benefits from it, right? And if a company fucks up and has like horrible practices when it comes to the way they treat nature, people stop spending their money there, and then that company ceases to gain as much value, as a result. Kind of like having like a self-governing system where the companies bleed into humanity. Humanity gives energy to those who show up in love, right? Looking at these companies, asking ourselves, is love true for this company? Is love true for this company? Is love true for this company? And then those that have like the highest fractal of love, those are the ones that get the resources. And I know, right? It's easier to say than it is to do, but little by little. Got to go. Love you, Zano. We'll see you again soon, friend. I'm sitting in front of my company's fraud reporting tool, feeling sick. Ugh, please give me your courage. I saw an alien saucer. Had like almost looked like some sort of hat, to be completely honest. And at the bottom of the saucer was like a bright glowing orb. and out of that orb, little lines came and connected to the top of certain people's heads. And they were walking about thinking they're humans, but actually they were controlled by the aliens. I don't know, Shell. You asked me to give you courage. Maybe you should ask yourself, are you one of the alien controlled, right? Or are you not? Is it going to be alien controlled to do what you're supposed to do, or is it going to be alien controlled to not do it? Yeah. Yeah. Confused screaming. Oh, bless you, Val. Thank you, Maxine. I know when I'm transitioning from this life, I won't be thinking of work or money. I can see one of the things I'm remembering is you taking in, talking in a South Africa field about love. Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Nancy. That's, I feel like that's one of the most beautiful comments I've ever seen. Leaving this world and thinking about love. What more can we ask for? Seriously. Ultimately, that's all we're trying to get, right? Freedom. We have been convinced that money is freedom, when money is the ultimate control over all of us. It's so absurd. The freedom to love. Thank you for using your freedom to love me, Nancy. I love you too, dear friend. Hello again, Dimitra. I don't know if you're still here, friend, but sending you good vibes. Shell, I'm sending you waves of love and confidence. You got this. Yeah. Yes, positive change that will benefit all children on the way. Exactly, right? Like just like I'm tripping out yesterday, day before yesterday. It was Father's Day, and I was like really thinking about the role of father that I'll have to play in my future, as a person, and thinking to myself like, when will I be ready, right? How much change would have had to be made for me to feel it would be just for me to bring a child into the world? And then it keeps extending, right? Where maybe I'll allow myself to have kids when I'm 100 years old or something. Is that, again, and then I ask myself, is that weird? Right? If I look exactly like this, hey Fisho, dude! Fisho, it's been like forever since seeing you. If I look exactly like myself, Fisho, but I'm 100 years old, is it weird for me to have kids? I don't know. Is it weird? I mean, it might be weird to the kids. It's like, how old are you, Dad? I'm a fucking now 111 years old, youngin. Wow. What? Yeah, I know, dude. It would confuse me too. My dad, when I asked him that exact same question, was like 30, and I happen to be 70 years older than that. Just happen. Well, I'm probably gonna lose connection sometime soon. The company is good, doing some work in the area. Love you all. Love you, Sam. We'll see you again, friend. Shell, you got my support. All of us file a police report if the company is actively engaging in covering their ass. This fraud tool likely won't do any good. Yeah, that's also true. I am feeling better, Melty. Yes, I made a mistake a few days ago and tried to fully transition away from the aspirins and painkillers to just weed and microdosing. I took too big a hit and coughed, which made me tear something inside. It scared the fuck out of me, so I made myself stay still for a few days in hopes of it healing. It will. Our bodies are powerful. Maybe eat edibles. I'm not supposed to recommend you taking anything, but yeah, especially if you have like internal things healing, edibles might be a little bit easier on your system. Hello, puppy. Hello, puppy woofies. You wanna come sit on my lap? There we go. Right. Improve service or something. Okay. An ice bong might help that, Max. Are you okay? I haven't smoked an ice bong in a while. In like 4 years. Man, like I had a friend who had one of those long four percolator bongs, and he would add like these ice. He had like a whole ice tray specifically made just for his bong. That was kind of nice, but that was a long time ago. I feel you, Sam. I'm going to be hopeful that it will, in fact, improve service, though. Yeah. Fractal manifest. Thank you, Shad. I'm probably going to take a while before you can start lifting and bending and moving normally, Maxine. Just remember to take it slow and don't push on those cars too hard. Thank you, Joe, for echoing love. Bongs make me cough. Something brutal, Sam. I've been smoking cards for the cleanest possible medicine. Yeah, that was my second recommendation, but it's cool that you actually already do that. Yes, jump in. They said not to overdo it after bed rest because I can end up worse than when I first came in home from surgery. No more than 10 pounds. And I can't be a passenger in a car for another week. Blessings to you, Maxine. I'm seeing you healing even faster. I just saw one of those flying fish, those that come out of the water. It was like one of those from Avatar, to be completely honest. They have cart bongs now for filtering and cooling the hits. I've been wondering about the performance of them, though. You friends have such cool weed smoking tech in your side of the world. Yeah, the stuff is really happening fast at this point. Yeah, Shan was trippy. I could feel whatever I tore separating below my skin when I would move my leg. Thank God it wasn't a hernia. Blessings. Mel's, based on your conversations, it sounds like your dream is to grow flowers with me. I'm already growing flowers, bro. Unfortunately, I am an extremely impatient person. Extremely so, right? You might not think it, but I believe the lesson I came to South Africa to learn is patience. Everything happens significantly slower here. Everything is, at least technology, is more expensive here because they tax things absorbently. We still don't have proper electric infrastructure when it comes to, electric cars because that's also slow. Our postage system, so slow. Everything be so slow. And I could continue being outraged, or I can become more patient. And that seems to be the way to turn this fractal around. What I mean with the whole impatience thing is the fact that I get to grow flowers in the digital realm. All right, as fast as I can think about them, they can become reality again. And I don't have anything against growing flowers in person, but again, I think that's your fractal, Brother Duck, that your strength, the service that you get to provide the world. How's everyone doing? Even better with you here. Nova, lovins to you. Maxine, I had a pretty serious abdominal surgery when I was young and tough, and I ignored the medical advice and I suffered for that arrogance. It was way worse than the initial pain of recovery. Be gentle with yourself, please. Right? Like it's gonna be a little bit of time and then you're going to feel better. Is there no live on Reddit? For a wrong time? Not. So I think it's like almost going on a year. No more Reddit live. Our pan dead. Morse dead. Completely killed itself. When you're awake to the nature of reality, you don't even need to dream. You're the dream itself, and every second feels like magical bliss. Exactly. Must be painful. Must be painful. Hey, Duck, do you happen to have any plant wisdom about Majesty palms by chance? A dear friend of mine gifted me one, but its palms have been turning brown. I repotted, gave fertilizer, spikes, and H2 odd. I don't have any plant wisdom myself. Stefan? Did I just see a Stefan here? Stefan Burke? Hope all is well, Melt. Been a while since I've caught a stream. It has been. Thank you for joining us today, dear friend. It's so crazy to see old friends, from the ARPAN days coming back into the stream as well. Always a blessing. I'll always celebrate you and appreciate you showing up, dear friend. Sending you lovin's. Painful. Makes me square, Maxine. It must feel so crazy, but definitely a time to still take it easy. Agreed. I know it's frustrating. Not being able to move in general. You win some, you lose some. Hopefully, we'll win more than we lose at the end of the day. I'm so happy because I uploaded a video of one of my songs on TikTok and it currently has 732 views and 114 likes. And just to think 114 individuals hearted what I posted trips me out, yet warms my heart. People love. That's what we like doing. Like, we like loving things, you know? We've just been coerced into believing that that's not our purpose, right? That's secondary to our purpose ultimately. Show saying, silently lurking and feeding my burbies. I think the smallest one of the four isn't going to make it, but I did my best and they were compromised when I got them. You are providing love. Remind yourself of that, Jovan. Sending you lovin's. Can't imagine it's easy. Struggling with a little one as well. How do you differentiate infatuation from real love that lasts and doesn't go away once you see the person's true colors? I always consider true love stays even when seeing the person's flaws. I feel, for me at least, to answer that question, Alex, would be expectations, right? What do you expect of the person? And if they still meet those expectations, then they can still be allowed a certain level of love, right? If you expect them to love you, for example, and they don't, then I don't think it's true love, right? But if you expect them to love you and they do, then it could be. I feel like it's a little bit more complicated than that at the end of the day. But it again comes down to expectations as well, where we can expect too much of a person. And if they are unable to meet the expectations we have of them, when it goes beyond just love, right, then it can kind of like throw a wrench in the system and make it difficult to continue loving. It gives me such a hopeful and positive outlook on what I'm putting out there. And I feel as though what I do make is worth sharing even more. I just want to keep going with music. Please, bro, keep creating. That is what we're here to do, right? Creation is what you do. You create by lifting your head off the pillow in the morning. You created that experience, right? It wasn't without you doing it. So pushing into that creative energy even more is an act of love, I believe, at least. Oh, Joe, I'm sorry to hear this, but I take comfort in knowing the littlest Burby was loved more than it knew by wonderful you. It was going to definitely die, right? Definitely. It went from 100% gonna die to having a being in this world called Jovan, trying to keep it alive, feeding it, right? Keeping it warm in their home. Like that is the fractal it got to experience. Even if it doesn't get to grow up, it still got to experience that state of reality. Joe saying, Melty, we'll come and get you, brother. We might have to smuggle you with some bananas or something, but we'll get you here. My sister is seeing Fall Out Boy in Chicago on Wednesday. I want to go and bring back a Duck Dad plan, but I've got things to try. I've got things tying me down here. Literally, little souls, right? Jovan brought work home. She has little baby burbs in her home right now that she's keeping alive, that she has to like feed every 30 minutes. I don't want to think about the kind of future with robots. It's, what do you mean, dude? It's already here, oh. Like, we exist in that world. This device you're watching this on, be it a TV or a cell phone, was in part made by robots, right? If you don't want to think about that kind of future with robots, nothing here that you see exists. It just disintegrates. Right? Like, this is a stacking of atoms, and the scale at which we're stacking atoms at this point is so minuscule that a human hand, human flesh cannot interface with that level of complexity. We already live in that future, bro. Love is like an ocean. It flows in waves and comes and goes like the tides. It's true. And all you have to do is learn how to swim, dude. Just freaking learn how to swim. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming, swimming. Nova, that's an awesome thing to celebrate. It's nice to feel seen and heard and loved. This deserves a happy dance. Thank you, Joe, for echoing that love as well. Heart wrenching. That is. Shan, they feel the warmth from skin contact. I held him and gave him my warmth, and he perked up a little bit, but he's just too weak. They went 24 hours without a feeding before they came into my care. Yeah. And they need to be fed like every 30 minutes. Imagine, right? Like your body is so small, you need to keep eating, you almost die. I hope the rest of them make it at least. I love Fall Out Boy say, you found glory, and of course bring Blink. They what do you envision when you imagine me melt? Last time you envisioned a mushroom. Hmm. First thing I saw is again a mushroom. But I've been seeing a mushroom a lot these days, right? And I choose to call it a mushroom. It can also be seen as a nuclear explosion, but mushroom. Yeah, the fungal network growing. Oh man, you found glory, took stupid question. But is there any way to denounce and revoke your South African citizenship? Yeah, but I do not have anything to fall back on, at least at the moment, right? I don't think it would be advisable for me to do that right now, especially since I have family here. Jovan, get they got to get some nurturing and warmth while they live their short little lives with you. You bring comfort to hopeless cases, and that is such a beautiful thing. Gives herself, right? And that's the thing as well with like this act of love, that you can show up in love in the way that Jovan does, and that can cause pain, right? Literally showing up, giving herself to these little entities, and then them being too weak to continue being. That's not easy, right? For especially for a soul loving enough to do that in the first place. Like that's probably the person who it's going to be the hardest for to deal with. And yet that's what she does. It's so beautiful. Putting my newest find of NFG in Discord for you. It's a banger. Music. Hey again, Fish Show. Hope all is well, brother, and the family are at peace, my friend. Thank you for the love and dear friend. Celebrating you too. Ermias Blur, the purple grail of a cup. Yeah. This cup has been so loyal. So I am loyal to it as well. Right? It's the way I try to think of it, at least for a baby's jar. You did your best. Thank you again for the love, Shan. I appreciate it so much. 111 years old. Wow. Yeah, dude. I plan on living at least for 1,000. Right? That's my hubris talking, but I want to live for at least 1,000 years because the kind of goals I have, I'll need at least 1,000 years to realize them. Maybe a little bit less, maybe like 444 years. But like it would be nice to see my goals after being realized enjoyed for like another 600 years, right? Like I would like to chill for like the last 500 years of my life. Work myself to like absolute the brink of death for like the first 500 and then chill for the next 500. Right? That's how I'm thinking of it. It's a little cruel considering you might not have time left. No, I imagine the technology will allow us to be exactly the way we are, right? Technically, aging is not inevitable. Is that the correct terminology? Yeah. Right? We think aging is inevitable. Technically, no. Technically, no, it's not. Right? We can, especially with AI and protein folding and CRISPR technologies and the combination of quantum physics and quantum machines as we're building them right now as well. We can unequivocally extend the human lifetime to absurd numbers, right? And I believe we are in that curve. Like if there's any human that's going to see that reality, it's gonna be us, right? Like at least in this state of reality that I'm watching right now. Hey, John is here. Just seeing your name, friend. Sending you lovin's. I have some edibles. It's much better than smoking, in my opinion. There we go. Yeah, agreed. Your friends, your loving warm smells. We love you, Jovan. We love you so much, dear friend. Thank you for everything you do. It's a pajama jammer, John. Yeah, it is. His voice is so amazing. Like I'm like every single time he posts one of his, covers in pajamas, it blows me away the amount of range he has. I can see that, Melty. Patience isn't my strong suit at times. I am a very patient person. I'm happy to hear that, Nova. I think I'm patient by external observation, right? If people had to be like watching me and then see the way I behave, they'd be like, oh, Melt's pretty patient. But on the inside, there's a part of me that screams. The outside, though, is like, yeah, I'm so calm. I'm so patient. I was trying to do an eye twitch, but it might make me look even more unhinged. Except for Melt and I, super fast turn it up to 11 and put your speed face on. Perhaps impatience should be in your next remedy. Im impatin impatins. I'm guessing it's like a impatience remedy. Maybe. Like I'm not impatient in the way where it affects me, right? Like for instance, it's like this, right? Like I know if I do this for 22 more years, great things will come of it. But I want the great things that comes of this to be here right now, right? I want. But I'm not going to give up or stop showing up because of my impatience, right? Like, I feel that's what I think of impatience when I think of impatience as a negative trait. It's that part of you that starts doing something, and then because you're impatient of the results you're receiving, you stop doing it. I'm not that kind of impatient. I'm the kind of impatient that has like seething rage because things aren't happening fast enough. Like that's my impatience. But I'm still gonna do the work. I'm still gonna show up with grace. Yes, with grace. Oh, again, and then again, and then one more time, and then once again. Like a year already. Yeah, it's been crazy. Rip Arpan indeed. Thank you, Stefan, for joining us as well. It's so nice having you here, friend. I cannot believe I started watching around 150 days. I read 900 2 minutes ago, and it's crazy. I will cherish you, Melt. You helped me through a dark time. Love you, friend. Thank you for finding yourself here again. I'm happy to see that you were gone for so long. Knowing that I helped you out of a dark time, I'm imagining that it was a little bit lighter for you. Thank you for joining us again. We'll do this forever. I plan on doing this forever, dude. All right, that is the commitment I've made to all of you friends and to myself. Right, again, not for profit, but for love. Right, is the act of showing up for friends an act of love? If yes, then do. Is the act of showing up for friends very profitable? If yes, if no, then do not, right? Pretty much. So, since my objective is to ensure that I keep sharing love, this is going to be something I'll do no matter what. No matter how much profit is made, no matter how much else wants my attention, this is going to be something that I'll continue doing. So, maybe in 111 years we'll have this conversation again, Fisher. Be like, bro, it's like 33,333 days, bro. What the fuck? That's crazy. Yeah, it is pretty crazy, isn't it? We're gonna still do it for another 1,000 years. I'm never gonna stop. Can't be stopped. Oh, let me continue reading. Well, I didn't feel old until Mel's Billy Talent comment. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, bro. It's okay to be older. You're wise, so wise. Uber wiseness. The wise just oozes from every part of us. Man, you were such a comfort for me during the pandemic. Keep it up. Thank you, Stefan. It's so crazy that you come into today's stream saying that exactly. I had a conversation with mom last night, helping her with some stuff. And it was kind of like talking about fear-based mindsets, and how fear fear is how they control us, right? They and us. I know vague terms, but fear is basically the mind killer in a way where if people live in a state of fear, they're more willing to give over power to an authority to take away that fear from them, to make them feel safe. And I mentioned that this space basically arose during the pandemic, right? This massive, globally sweeping, fear-induced panic that people were experiencing. I showed up for love during that whole experience, and then we got to meet one another on our pan because of that experience. So we, in fact, did use something that was pretty horrific for the collective humanity psyche for good. We made something beautiful out of something that we could have just feared. And that is the point of today's whole stream topic. So it's nice of you to come here and echo that as well, Brother Bear. Sending you blessings. I just can't believe it's been almost 2.5 years straight of uploading live streams every day. What a crazy achievement, Mel. I'm proud of you. Thank you, friend. Thank you. I'm at a point with this experience where I agree the number is impressive, right? Talking about the numbers again. But all I'm doing, and I say this as an encouragement, all I'm doing is my work. And your work is always going to be expected of you. And the best time to do it is today. Do your work today. Right? Sure, I've been doing it for 900 days, but actually, I'm just doing it today. Today is when I'm doing it. And if we can all align with that, instead of asking ourselves, am I going to profit from doing my work today? Or is there going to be more love in the world for doing my work today? Right? If you can align yourself with the love question, it becomes easier. It really does. It doesn't get easy. It doesn't just get like, oh, this is so easy. I mean, in part, it can be, right? It's not hard for me to do this anymore. Like it feels natural, feels like a part of my being, right? I can I have this. I'm kind of brain damaged, to be honest. Like if I take a nap, for example, my brain won't allow me to sleep past like 14:44 basically, when it's like usually when my alarm goes off, so I can get ready for stream. It's impossible for me to not to do stay in a state of I don't want to do anything. Nope. Suddenly this energy. Okay, let's go. So, get up, stuff to do. Melty was a comfort for me too. I remember I literally couldn't even enter the apartment of my childhood because of the trauma I lived there, and my parents were so angry. I was so stressed, so I just sat outside watching Melty's videos while my mom was almost screaming at me. Love is true. These are again, right? This is what I mean when I say that you friends are so much more than I can even know. That this space means more than I can even know. The amount of love that is experienced transcends profit exponentially. Being able to provide comfort for a friend like Alex, while she's going through something uncomfortable like that. Service, support, love. I'm tripping out a little bit right now. Love you, Alex. Thank you for being such a big part of this stream as well. My town just announced they need volunteers to be in a dunk tank for the carnival. I am signing up and I'm going to talk so much smack. Yeah, get people all riled up, you know. Maybe they'll miss more. It can't be done a lot. You are loved, Alex. And that will be a constant, right? Even if I cannot communicate the love to you directly, the act of showing up in this moment is an act of love, an act of calm towards you. Thank you for showing up for it as well. Just let the stress roll on by. Grandma always used to say, we all make choices to choose to wear a kind of face and to choose to age with grace. We are all weird and unique that we are. My inflatable kayak arrives tonight, gang gang. The $130 one. Sounds so sick, dude. You should send us photos. That's a definition of that remedy melt. Yeah, perfect. I really like that. I'm happy that I pretty much echoed it as well. The post office is so slow in South Africa because they expect lions to take it everywhere. Exactly. And also, they document every single package and they observe the price tag that you have to like set on the other side of the world because they tax you 30%, 30% on every single package you ship inside, right? Money raping us. Fuckers. Relax though. Calm down. Yes. Peace. The freaking tax. So much tax, yo. I've been paying tax since I was 5 years old. When my parents gave me 50 cents to go and buy myself something at a tuck shop for the first time. Buy myself a piece of candy, already getting taxed. Hello, Connor. I'm at work and just stopping by. We love you, friend. Thank you for joining us. 11s, 11s. Inflatable kayak. Those things are awesome. I used to hunt out of a kayak. That junk was scary. I mean, living off the land, right? Being able to eat food that you catch yourself is a primordial thing. We are setting sand on a lake house, duck, landscaping for the win. Thank you for showing up, Brother Bear, for being of service, for showing up for love, right? People are gonna love the fact that you were willing to do that work at the end of the day. Kayak crew, I have 4 kayaks, and any one of yours are welcome in one of them if you make your way through southern Indiana. Do. All right, like Jovan knows the spots. Peace, my people. We'll see you again, Luke. Merkaba man. Blessings to you, dear friend. I was gonna say Jovan knows the spots. Like having seen the photos she sent me, you know, from like the adventure she goes on. It's like straight up breathtaking, her space. Heading out. Love you too, Connor. Blessings to you. He's a literal angel. No, you. No, you, for sure. I understand what you're saying, brother. I know you do, friend. I feel like you wouldn't be showing up the way you do if you didn't understand what I was saying, right? Like we speak the same language ultimately, even though we are different people growing up in different places with different families, different states, different privileges, different etc. etc. The thing that we are resonates, right? And I believe it resonates because you've done the work to actually melt away layers of separation to get to that pure essential core at the center of your being. And I thank you for doing that. That's your work, and you have to do it every day. Get closer and closer to what you actually are. Don't keep adding layers of separation to that which you are. Did you know? Apparently, your beloved pets you have slash had are meant to be a part of your life and signed a contract before they joined you in life. I mean, when we talk about stuff like that, I believe everything is exactly the way it's meant to be, right? Everything is exactly the way it's meant to be. Like we have so much influence as a human body. We don't even realize, right? And these little pets are also souls. I was having this conversation with mom again last night about personality, how Shelby has a different personality to Roxy, has a different personality to Ginger, has a different personality to Pippi, to Yudi, to Eva. That even though those three are dogs and those three are cats, they don't act the same because they have souls in them, right? And that soul comes with a whole experience. Like Pippi, for example, is a scaredy cat, right? Like she's scared of everything. Like if cars come, over to the home, like she loses her mind. If like even if it's my parents, right? Like she'll start barking at them. And if they get out of the car and start, like kind of like chasing towards her, she'll like run for her life, like runs underneath my legs, hides. She's never been traumatized. She's never been given a reason to be fearful, and none of the other dogs are. But maybe, and I said this to my mom last night, maybe in her previous life she died a traumatic death, and becoming herself in this life. Some of that fear is the work that she needs to do now, right? She needs to be a Pippi living in that state of fear potentially, and then getting shown over and over again by this reality that, yeah, you can live in fear, but love is true. That's going to be proven to you over and over again. Sure, there are things to be scared of, but ultimately, no, there's not, right? All of us are going to die. That's also not something to be fearful of. It's not scary, it is inevitability. Melty, you were like the best employee of the year I've ever heard of. Never call in sick, always help the world, smile with you instead of feeling gray and cold. You bring sunshine to this life. You were treasured and highly respected. I love you, Joe Schmo. Thank you for saying such beautiful words, bro. Yeah, I am employee of the month. Yeah. I haven't called in sick, right? Not even once. Not even thought about it. I haven't even gotten sick that much. I got COVID once when I went over to Christian's place, but I showed up, even snotty faced. Nothing can stop us. Not even COVID-19. Well, at a different measure, at an infinite measure, right? Like an actual infinite measure. Like I would rather know, for instance, just like this small fractal, I would rather know what Alex told me today. The fact that while she was in a space of like feeling trauma around her, feeling attacking entities, right, in her outside experience, knowing that I could have been a small little box in her world, and that small little box allowed her a state of calm. That to me is more valuable than money would ever be, right? Like, oh, Alex tells me that, like you can either know that Alex gained all of this love, or you can have this $1,000, but then Alex has to continue suffering what she went through. Fucking 999,999 times out of a million, that would be the option, right? And then there's the option where I'm literally starving to death because of the system we have set up. And then there's this possibility where money is taken over, profit is taken over love because it's expected, it's set up that way. Fortunately, I have the privilege of a family who's willing to take care of me through this process. And now you friends, essentially, have become that family as well. Thank you. Thank you for the love. Thank you for being a highly treasured and respected part of this community as well, Joshmar. So that means Pippi was born in this lifetime to dance the music with you, Melt, and Pippi was born to dance. You're meant to share this experience together. I do believe this, dude. Like Pippi has been a massive part of my life. Isn't that true, Pippi? Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Shooty patweety. She's definitely a contender. I understand why they call dogs man's best friend, right? People's best friend, I know. Our best friends. Like I trip out about the relationship we have with them sometimes. The fact that there's an actual living thing just chilling on me. Could chill anywhere, right? Like there's so much space to chill. Nah, I'm gonna come and chill directly on top of this dude. Are you going to sleep? I believe Nova probably is. He is. Sleep well, Nova. Blessings to you, friend. Jovan, you're exactly, yeah, exactly like sled dogs, I assume. You're pretty much just along for the ride until they get tired and stop pulling you around. Super fun though. I would like to go on like a sled dog kind of like ride. That looks like a vibe to me. I probably would do that for a bit and then realize the impracticality of it and then long for a snowmobile. The technological part of myself being like, yeah, it's great and all having dogs pull my sleigh, but my dogs need to eat and they sometimes fight one another and I have to harness them. And then sometimes I don't want to be harnessed and they kind of like just play around. And then I have to try and coerce them into getting harnessed. And then I have to like run them and there I have to think about how exhausted they are. They're pulling me. And then I think technology. Yeah, put electricity and then push button and then go forward. 420 means you find me in the now, me being God, and the now being the present moment. Meaning we find ourselves in the now. That's my meaning. It might be different for you. I like that. I really like that actually. The way I have articulated that kind of same idea to myself is this quote of if you feel lost, realize you'll find yourself right here and right now. Right? No matter how lost you feel, no matter how lost you get, you will find yourself right here and right now every single time without fail. It's kind of surreal in that way. Something to be stable in, right? Amazing. No, you amazing. I was talking in depth yesterday and the day before about how all the critters in the wild have unique ways of expression. We just have to be there and see it to be aware of it. Exactly. Bears. Did you know this? Bears watch sunsets. Bears will just chill next to the water and then watch the sun setting. Why? Ow. Why do that? If there's not a conscious entity, right, God, present in that being, there to pay attention to this world that it so showed up for lovingly. Eva's getting stuck in the freaking windowsill. It was so embarrassing watching her pulling herself like a sausage through it. Oh, the idea of personalities are a whole trip and a half, yeah. The personality that kind of like comes with the body. Pepe, because there is some personality that gets encoded with DNA. That does happen. But I believe some personality comes with soul as well. Right. Like there's something your soul is here to do. And that goal allows you to find value in certain things. And then finding value in certain things allows you to form an ego conception of yourself. And that ego conception of yourself, I believe, is what we consider personality. Hair in my mouth. Most definitely, my friend. Health is wealth. Exactly. Joe Bot, family's coming back. Yes, this. Once you see it, nothing ever looks the same. I grew up in the woods and swamps, and I hunted and I fished for a long time before I started to see clearly how the balance exists. I love animals and pets and cats and dogs. Love is true. Good night. I take a lot of meditation. It takes a lot of meditation before I choose to kill anything anymore. This is the way it's supposed to be. If you're going to kill something, it should be as an act of survival, not as an act of pleasure, right? Not profit. It should be love for your family, for your body, to want to continue existing. I guess that's what you mean with meditation. My next cat will be called Toothpick. Love is true. We just about finished our comments for today. Let's play some kalimba, and then we'll pull a card, shall we? We'll do 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Got herself all sausaged up. You went and say hi to mom and sister, and you came right back. I'm so honored, little Pepikis. I feel so honored. I've been missing Joy's comments today. Just so that you know, Joy, I do notice. I do notice. Sending you lovins. Nonetheless, I love connecting with you guys in this lovely place. Yay, Kalimba and Card. We love connecting with you too, Alex. It's always a blessing having you here, dear friend. I'd say that's a beautiful ending to a smoke in the end of my shift. Thank you for being you, man. You're one of a kind. I am a mirror to what you are, dear friend. All of us are divine and unique in our own way. I celebrate your existence, your willingness to share some of that existence with me. Thank you. Thank you, Shan. Thank you for offering me your ears. Sorry, half asleep, was late, not feeling well. It's okay. I want you to know that I feel your energy, Joy, always. And I'm sending you lovings, blessings to you. I hope you're feeling better soon. I've also been having a hard time sleeping early. It's been like pretty rough. Last night I couldn't at all. I was like up until like 3:33 or something. But yeah, it be that way sometimes. Is I, Joy, can you rest today? Was going to leave to call a friend, but Kalimba, please call your friend. Nancy, call your friend. Let them know you love them. Ooh, yeah, this is the card. This is the card. Purple? I mean, more pink, but there's definitely purple elements. Like the backdrop of the card is purple, purple sides, purple hair on the hands, purple flower of life, little house. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck, the Antakanara. I actually did what she said. I did end up printing myself out one of them. I'm gonna spend the morning in bed and get some work done this afternoon. Rest well, dear friend. The fact that you didn't sleep enough and still decided to show up as early as you do, living on the other side of America, on California side, it's always honoring. I know, I feel you honoring us with your presence in this space. Thank you for that, Joy. This card again, yeah, right? Whew, I was seeing purples and pinks. You saw correctly. Your highest self, right? The flower of life. You are the flower of life. We talked about this idea of flowers as a value system, right? More synchrony on that. And then this, your fleshy part of yourself reaching up to this flower of light and this bridge in the middle, connecting that higher part of you with this part of you that is embodied. Card number 26, the Antakanara, the bridge. The Antakanara is an ancient healing and meditation symbol that has been used in Tibet and China for thousands of years. It is a part of the spiritual anatomy that connects the physical brain and the higher self. It is a bridge of light that aids in your connection to the higher dimensions. It is said that the Antakanara has its own consciousness and that merely being in its presence will raise a person's vibration and assist in healing and personal evolution. Connecting with your higher self will offer insights into virtually any question or inquiry you may have. The Antakanara may be seen as a direct link between your thoughts and your intuitive nature. It is the result of the interaction between matter and consciousness. Meditate with this shape. Relax deeply and give attention to your breath. Sit quietly and open to intuition and insight. Let this time act to strengthen the connection between thought and intuition. Realize the capacity for growth and healing you already possess. Realize the capacity for growth and healing you already possess. Our friends have literally been healing themselves. Maxine has literally been healing themselves. Some of us have some emotional damage that we've been healing, and we possess that. Like all of us have that. We can facilitate, we can help, we can guide, we can, what's the word Shell likes to use? Interpret with one another. But ultimately, that healing potential is something you possess. You have it in you, it's within you. The answer to your inquiry will come through your ability to bridge the material world and the realm of spirit. There she is, Loizana. I was just thinking about you as I was mentioning the whole healing thing. And here you are, kicking the door down. You may wish to make a copy of this shape and place it on your altar, beside your computer, or in your healing space. Whenever you notice it, acknowledge your connection to the higher self and the wisdom that is always available through that communication. Brilliant timing. Perfect, right? So much lovin's. I emailed in sick today. I need a mental health day. Take one, Nancy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Relax, relax. You can, here you go. Oh, you guys, I'm so freaking depressed. No! 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 I don't want you to be depressed. Look at all of them pretty colors. Like, thanks, no, that doesn't help necessarily. What are you feeling, Louisiana? Tell us what you're feeling. Why are you depressed? Is it because of your pain? Is it because of your inability to move as you used to? Are you not feeling appreciated enough? Tell us what you're feeling, Louisiana. I'll wait for you. You have been summoned. I hope you find everything you're looking for in life. Thank you, Fisher. Same to you, Brother Bear. And even more so. Everything you're looking for in life, and then some. And then some. I feel like a huge, stupid burden on everyone. Yeah, I can feel Louisiana going through the motions with me as I'm. You might feel that way, but you know it's not true. Because what is true, Louisiana? Love. Love is true, right? Today's whole stream topic was about profit versus love, right? Surely, right? Your family, those around you helping out of love to take care of you, might not profit financially from the act of loving you, right? And because we find ourselves in this world of economy, we feel like burdens when other people have to spend money or spend time on us, when our economy should be based on love, right? The fact that you are willing to receive that love and they are willing to give that love is the truth. That is the truth, right? Not a burden, but how it's supposed to be. You are loved, Louisiana. So much, dear friend. You're not a burden on anyone. You're going to get better, and then you're going to be able to help others as well. It's just a matter of time at this point. Am I missing a comment? We both know. Yeah, I get you, friend. Those thoughts stem from issues of self-esteem and not being worthy. I'm learning that lesson as well, hon. Remember to be very gentle on yourself and nourish your inner child. Be unconditional. Agreed. Love yourself. Know that the love that you receive from your family can be expected to be unconditional. Right? You don't have to meet any condition, Louisiana. Right? The fact that you are in a state of recovery right now doesn't mean you're useless. Doesn't mean you're a burden. Doesn't mean you're making their lives harder. It might be a minor inconvenience, right? But if you think about the amount of love you have created, you have shared, the amount of energy you have invested in those who are helping you right now, you'll quickly realize that love is true, all right, beyond profits, beyond any financial systems. I would love the opportunity to show you love through nurture in the way your fam is there. You're so worth it. Agreed, me too, right? If I was there, Louisiana, I would be taking care of you, right? You tell me you're hungry, I'm making you food downstairs and carrying it up the stairs for you. Not because I'm going to profit from it, but because I love Louisiana. And Louisiana has a need, has been recovering, and she's having a hard time moving up and down the stairs. So I'm going to be helping, right? Not burden, but the state of reality. It is how it is, feeling pretty unloved in real life. It's not true, right? At least you have people that echo and celebrate you here, dear friend. I wish I could do more. Again, right? This is what I'm talking about. If I could, I would duplicate my consciousness into a robot body and give you that robot, Lozana. Suddenly, you got a version of me that is robotic, that you can have conversations with, that will tend to your every need, you know. And I would happily do that. Happily, 100% give all of my consciousness for that. Have the most beautifulest day, everyone. I seriously love you all so very super sized, mega massively, astronomically, gargantuanly, hulkingly, dearly, Melt, and all of you wonderfully, extraordinarily, unbelievably, remarkably magical friends. That includes you, Lozana. That includes you. Thank you, dear friends. Thank you, Shan, for echoing the way you do. Love is true. We are all worthy. We are all deserving. We all fucking matter. We all deserve the happiness we desire. I love all of you. If no one told you yet, I'm so fucking proud of you. You're doing such a great job with this thing called life. Are you living? Yeah? Fucking good job. Yeah, good job. Yeah, good, good. Keep doing that. Keep breathing in and then breathe out. And then breathe in and then breathe out. And then do that until tonight. And then we wake up tomorrow and then we breathe in and then we breathe out. And then we do that until tonight. And then we do it again the next day. And if we keep taking it like that, day by day, we're going to find ourselves on the other side. Me too, bit. Yeah, I was proud of you. We all feel that someone. We all feel like that sometimes, Lozana. You're not alone. I know I have to be my own best friend sometimes, my only friend. But sometimes it's just too hard. The annoyance of my husband and son is palpable. That's not fair. Especially since you're already in pain, right? That's the worst part, Lois, and I can feel that from you. Like that part of mine is like, bruh, I'm already fucking suffering. Why more suffer? Why? Right? Why can't you just be okay with the state of being right now? Just temporarily, right? Why do you have to add to my suffering? We're going through it together. Yeah, Alex, I'm sorry. Do you remember how special you are? Do you remember everything about you that's unique and unlike anyone else? Do you remember all the good things about yourself? I don't even, to be completely honest. Eva is trying to get underneath my blankets behind me. Are you cold as well, Eva? Are you also cold? There's a Pippi on my lap already. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She'll like grr at you or something. She just doesn't like the idea of you trying to get on my lap while she's sitting there. Yeah, she won't be okay with that. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Like she's boss. It seems. Yeah, sending you 11s. There you go. Lois, I love you, friend, and I'm so grateful for sharing this life with someone as wonderful as you are. Sending you my biggest and warmest giant Shan hug. Thank you, Shan, for echoing even more love. It's easier to face it together, even from a distance. My brother has been sober for 3 years now, and I cannot have loved him any less, no matter the circumstances. I'm so unbelievably proud of him, and I hope you stay well in your recovery, Lozana. Laughing Tiger, I only remember how weird I am. Literally everything about me is so unique that no one even wants to deal. Sometimes not even me. Well, I have been willing to, right? Every single time you join us in the yoga, every single time you join us here in the stream, we celebrate you. Every single time you join us on the Sanghas, we want to hear what you have to say. You are so loved. More than you can know, Lozana. Love is true, fundamentally, right? The fact that you're still aware of your pain, even the fact that you can be aware of your family being irritable, love. Still love, even though it doesn't feel that way. There's a puppy in the lap. No. Nia Eva. She's trying to get my attention now. Yes, Hunter and Stansum said it best. Too weird to live, too rare to die. Why would you want to blend in when you were created to stand out? Yes. If a flower blended in to the ground, who would appreciate it? Right? The bees wouldn't be able to find it. We don't want flowers blending in. We want flowers to stand out, right? And we want them to be unique and beautiful and weird sometimes as well. And they can be difficult to take care of. Flowers can be pretty pedantic, right? Having to water them and make sure they're in the right kind of shade and etc. etc. And yet we do that because of love. And you are loved in the same way. You're right. But I mean, I really stand out. Good! Good! We want flowers standing out. Good! Celebrate that. Remember, while the eccentric and the weird may want to blend in, there's a bunch of normies wanting our originality and uniqueness that we were gifted. Exactly. Celebrate yourself. If you don't feel loved by the world, love yourself. Yeah. Love yourself. Would you love yourself? Would you love yourself? Everyone is a burden sometimes. It's okay. That was Anna. That's the social contract. And with the hubs in the sun, they have the privilege to help you. Not only the privilege, but like a part of me is getting a little bit salty, wanting to kick their asses a little bit, being like, this is your wife. This is your mother. She birthed you into this world, though. Swallow the bullshit and do it. Just do it. Just do it. It's weird. I'm weird too, but I'm standing to embrace it. People actually like weird people, surprisingly. I'm starting to notice, embrace the uniqueness. Agreed. I'm happy that we could connect in that way before we have to leave. I love you, friends, so much. I thank you for joining me. Louisiana, reach out to one of our friends. Have some conversations. Maybe Shell. I know Shell always has like a bazooka of lovin's to share. Machine gun of lovin's. AK-47s of lovin's. Got a Glock of lovin's. I don't know why I went for the violence angle. I'm sorry. You are loved no matter what. No matter what, right? Are you alive right now? Love. Did you get to just breathe? A breath of air? Love. Are you not flying off the surface of the earth into space? Love. Got the sun shining outside? Love. Thank you, Shah. Thank you, Noazana. Thank you, friend. We're here with you. You're not alone. We'll do this again tomorrow. I better see you tomorrow. I'm gonna look for Louisiana. Be like the phone. We're that Louisiana and chat. I'm gonna ask you if you're feeling better. Sending you lovin's. Blessings, dear friends. Thank you for joining me once again. For being in the space with me. Damn, you melt in your schmeckiness. Take my almost. Thank you, Sofa, for echoing more love before we finish the stream. Love is true. Love is true. If there's anything that's true, it's that I love you. Thank you for summoning me. Whichever one of you it was. It was me. And like it was me who summoned you. I was the one thinking about you, we were talking about healing in the card we pulled. And the fact that you are going through a healing journey right now. You and Maxine, as the friends we have direct access to. Glad to be back. I hope you find peace in life. And more, as Mel would say. I love every one of you guys. Be smart. Be a part of the good place on the internet. Thank you, Fisher, for being a part of it as well, dear friend. We can only change the world working together, right? Being burdens onto each other is how we save the world, not by being self isolated, perfectly self sufficient, independent individuals. Nope. That isn't how we can save the world. That level of independence robs you of the power we have to change everything else. I love you so much. I'll see you again on the other side, dear friends. Goodbye, everybody. Blessings.